Hi, my name is David. Today I'm going to show you how to take a picture. But first I want to ask you a question. Has anyone ever taken a picture of you and you immediately wanted to see what the picture looked like? Or have you ever seen anyone else have their picture taken and immediately they wanted to see it? Have you ever gone to look at that picture and thought that that picture wasn't as good as you would want it to be? Or have you ever looked at it and experienced pleasure whenever you saw the photo, knowing that it was a great depiction of yourself? Well, I'm going to tell you the things that take place that would make you like your photo or not like your photo when someone takes your photo. Okay, so in order to take a portrait of someone, you need to understand three things. The first thing is aperture. So the lens has a plastic covering over it that opens up like this and closes like this. The aperture is the distance that's right here. So the lower the aperture, the more the lens is actually open. And that allows more light to pass through the lens. That also makes it harder to focus on something. So whenever the sensor is trying to grab something, it doesn't know what to grab from. So as soon as it picks something, it focuses on that thing and everything behind that thing is blurry. So what we're going to try to do in a portrait is to isolate the person and make everything behind them blurry. So what we want is we want that really wide open lens right there. So we want a very low aperture. The second thing we need to know is shutter speed. That's how fast the camera opens and closes. So if it opens for a long time and then shuts, it's going to capture images that are moving to more blurry, right? But things that are standing still, it's not going to be so blurry. So the shutter speed on this, it could be faster or slower depending on how much light we want to come through. Because the longer it's open, the more light comes through. The faster it goes, the less light comes through. The next thing we need to know is the ISO. Now the ISO is for low light areas where you want to take a photo, but there's just not enough light. There's not enough light from the sun and there's not enough light for flashes. You turn the ISO up. The only problem is when you turn the ISO up, there's going to be more noise, which means that the photo will look more staticky. Fortunately, the Sony camera that I was using is not able to take photos while it's taking a video at the same time. So this is the photo that I got. What I want you guys to make sure you understand is that when you take a photo of someone, you need to understand the rule of thirds, which means that their face needs to be about the on if you divide this picture into three sections, the person's face should not be in the middle, but on either the right or the left third of the screen. And usually you want this eye, the middle eye, to be around where that line is. Um, so in this photo, I made sure that I had some light on her face. Because of just the bad situation, I had to take the picture in the middle of the day. Usually you want to do it in the morning or the evening, where the sun is a bit softer and it's not so harsh. So her face was a lot brighter. I just took some of the highlights down. But yeah, that's how you get a photo. You want to make sure that you focus on the person. Um, with that low f-stop, that low aperture, you probably want to get a fast shutter speed, and whenever the sun's out like this, you want to completely turn the ISO off, and you want to make sure that they're in focus and that their eye is in focus. Okay, so before I show you how to take a photo of someone on a cell phone, I just want to show you all how important it is to make sure that um, the things that are supposed to be in focus are in focus. So when we take a picture of someone, and we want a good portrait with a blurry background, we want to make sure that whoever we're taking a picture of, they're crisp, and everything in their face is clear, and the rest of the photo is blurry, so that they can be distinguished from the background, so that whenever someone looks at the photo, their eye immediately is to the person and not to the background. And the most important thing about that is the eyes. So we want to make sure that both eyes are in focus. Now, when you take a picture of someone with a cell phone, it's a lot easier because a lot of times you can just tap on the screen um, where you want the focus to be. And a lot of times you can't really tap on someone's eye because you might not be close enough to them. So if that's the case, just tap on their face around the area of their eye. Um, because if we don't do that, a lot of times we can turn out with photos like this. And even though I like the nice blurry background, her face is also blurred. and her eyes are definitely not in focus at all. So the most important things that need to be in focus are the eyes. Okay, so to take a picture with your cell phone of someone, you want to make sure that the light is in the right spot. So I'm going to ask her to switch me spots and stand over here so that I'll be at the window. And then I'm just going to zoom in. I'm going to put her on the right side. She's going to smile. So this is the photo I got of her. She wanted to take her hair down and retake the photo, so we did that. The main thing that you need to focus on when taking a photo with a cell phone is that you tap on the cell phone where you want the focus to be. You want to find the portrait mode, make sure you're in portrait mode, and you want to make sure that the light is shining towards their face and not from behind them to the back of their head. Again, so the things that I've shown you in this video are the functions of a camera, the aperture, which is measured in the f-stop, the shutter speed, and the ISO. I gave you an example of a photo taken from a standalone camera, and I showed you how to take a portrait photo from a phone camera.